Antarctica, the forbidden continent that holds Earth's true history. At the bottom of our planet lies a land few have ever seen. A place so vast, so remote, and so mysterious that it has been called the Forbidden Continent. This is Antarctica, a frozen desert stretching over 14 million square kilometers, wrapped in endless ice and silence. But beneath its frozen shell lies something extraordinary. Traces of a world that once thrived, forests, rivers and creatures that walked the Earth long before humans existed. Antarctica is not just ice. It's the Earth's greatest time capsule, a vault preserving the planet's true history. To understand this mysterious continent, we must travel back billions of years, to the very birth of the Earth itself. The birth of a continent. Around 4.5 billion years ago, the Earth was young, fiery and chaotic, a planet of molten rock bombarded by asteroids. Slowly it cooled, land formed, oceans appeared, and over millions of years, continents began to take shape. Roughly 600 million years ago, most of today's southern continents were fused together into one giant landmass called Gondwana. Antarctica was right in the middle of it, a warm and fertile region surrounded by shallow seas and thick forests. Back then, Antarctica looked nothing like it does now. It was covered with green vegetation, flowing rivers and thriving ecosystems. Fossils found today, from ancient ferns to dinosaur bones, prove that this frozen land was once full of life. For over 100 million years, Antarctica basked in sunlight and warmth. But nothing on Earth stays the same forever. The Great Drift. About 180 million years ago, Gondwana began to break apart. Driven by powerful forces beneath the Earth's crust, called plate tectonics, massive slabs of land started to drift in different directions. Africa moved north. India sailed toward Asia. South America tore away to form the Atlantic Ocean. And slowly, Antarctica drifted south toward the coldest place on Earth. By about 35 million years ago, it reached its current position over the South Pole. That's when the Great Transformation began. Ocean currents changed. A ring of freezing water, known as the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, formed around the continent. Warm tropical waters could no longer reach its shores. The temperature dropped drastically. Rain turned to snow. Forests died. And little by little, Antarctica disappeared beneath a thick blanket of ice, an ice sheet that would eventually grow to more than 3 miles deep in some places. The Frozen Archive. Today, Antarctica holds nearly 70% of all the fresh water on Earth, locked away in ancient glaciers. But beneath that ice lies a world that remains almost untouched. A landscape of mountains, valleys, and even lakes that haven't seen the sky in millions of years. Using radar and satellite scans, scientists have discovered hidden mountain ranges, such as the Gamburtsev Mountains, completely buried beneath the ice. There are also more than 400 subglacial lakes, including the mysterious Lake Vostok, which lies beneath 4 kilometers of ice. Lake Vostok has been sealed off from the outside world for up to 15 million years. Yet samples of water from it show traces of microbes. Tiny forms of life that have survived in darkness, under immense pressure and at freezing temperatures. This discovery has stunned scientists. If life can survive there, it could survive almost anywhere, even on icy moons like Europa or Enceladus. Antarctica has become a model for understanding how life might exist beyond Earth. The ice that remembers. The ice covering Antarctica is not just frozen water. It's a time machine. Every layer represents a chapter of Earth's climate history. As snow falls year after year, it traps tiny air bubbles, bits of dust, and traces of gases. Over thousands of years, these layers compact into solid ice, preserving the atmosphere of ancient Earth. By drilling deep ice cores, scientists have been able to study air from hundreds of thousands of years ago. Inside these frozen cylinders are records of volcanic eruptions, cosmic dust, and even changes in carbon dioxide that reveal when the Earth warmed or cooled. Through these samples, we've learned that the Earth has gone through natural cycles of climate change long before humans appeared. But today, the data also shows how quickly our modern world is changing, faster than at any time in history. Antarctica's ice, silent and patient, is speaking to us, telling the story of the planet's heartbeat. Before the ice, the green Antarctica. What did Antarctica look like before it froze? In recent decades, scientists drilling into the seabed around Antarctica discovered fossilized tree roots, pollen grains, and even soil from ancient rainforests. These findings prove that about 90 million years ago, the continent was covered in lush greenery. Imagine a landscape filled with towering conifer trees, ferns, and flowering plants. Temperatures were warm, and daylight lasted for months. Back then, dinosaurs walked where ice now lies. They roamed across rivers, hunted in valleys, and thrived in a world without frost. Then, as the planet cooled and ice formed, the forests were buried and preserved. Beneath the frozen ground today are remnants of that ancient paradise, proof that Antarctica was once alive. It's hard to believe, but the coldest place on Earth was once a rainforest. The Forbidden Continent. Unlike other continents, Antarctica has no native human population, no permanent cities, and no nations claiming ownership. In 1959, 12 countries signed the Antarctic Treaty, declaring it a place dedicated only to peace and science. Today, over 50 nations have joined. This treaty bans military bases, nuclear testing, and commercial mining. It also makes exploration heavily regulated, meaning only scientists and a few approved visitors can set foot on most parts of the continent. To some, this global restriction fuels mystery. Why, people ask, is so much of Antarctica off-limits? The truth is simple. Antarctica is fragile. Even a small human presence can harm its unique environment. But this secrecy also makes it the perfect breeding ground for speculation. Over the years, theories have emerged of ancient civilizations buried beneath the ice, of mysterious pyramids seen by satellites, and of secret research bases hidden from the public eye. While mainstream science has found no proof of such claims, these ideas persist, reminding us that Antarctica remains one of the least understood regions on Earth. The hidden landscape. One of the most fascinating discoveries came from radar scans that revealed a vast network of rivers and valleys beneath the ice sheet. These rivers still flow today, connecting the subglacial lakes into a hidden water system larger than Western Europe. This means that Antarctica isn't just frozen solid. Beneath its icy crust, the continent is alive with movement. Water flows, mountains rise, and valleys shift in slow motion, shaped by pressure and time. Scientists now believe that these hidden landscapes may hold clues to how continents move, how ice sheets form, and even how life might begin in extreme environments. In essence, Antarctica is not just a frozen desert. It's a living, breathing system locked beneath the cold. Messages from the ice. Every year, new discoveries emerge that challenge our understanding of this frozen world. Meteorites, some older than the Earth itself, are found scattered across the ice, perfectly preserved by the cold. Ancient bacteria, long thought extinct, are revived in laboratories, showing life's incredible resilience. Each find is a message from deep time, a reminder that Antarctica holds stories older than humanity. Scientists call it the memory of the planet, because what lies frozen there are the fingerprints of Earth's most important events. Mass extinctions, asteroid impacts, and shifts in climate that reshaped life again. It's as if the continent itself remembers everything. patiently waiting for us to listen. The melting future. Yet, as much as Antarctica teaches us about the past, it also warns us about the future. The ice that has been stable for millions of years is now melting at an alarming rate. Satellite images show glaciers retreating faster than ever before, pouring billions of tons of water into the oceans each year. If even a fraction of Antarctica's ice were to melt, global sea levels could rise dramatically, flooding coastlines, submerging cities, and displacing millions of people. Scientists across the world monitor these changes closely. Every crack in an ice shelf, every shifting glacier tells us that Earth's delicate balance is changing. Antarctica's message is clear. What happens here affects everywhere. The final frontier on Earth. In many ways, Antarctica is the last frontier, a place that tests the limits of human endurance and curiosity. Temperatures can drop below 80 degrees Celsius, winds can reach 200 kilometers per hour, and months can pass without sunlight. Yet, despite these harsh conditions, researchers from all over the world live here temporarily, drilling, mapping, and studying. Their work helps us understand climate change, ocean currents, and even the potential for life on other planets. In its silence and isolation, Antarctica mirrors outer space, a place where survival depends entirely on knowledge, teamwork, and respect for the environment. For scientists, every journey into the ice is not just an expedition. It's a step back in time, a glimpse into Earth's beginnings. The Keeper of Time. Antarctica is more than a continent. It's a keeper of secrets, a living museum holding every chapter of Earth's evolution. Beneath its frozen crust lie the remnants of ancient forests, extinct species, and perhaps answers to how life itself began. It reminds us that the world we know today is only one version of Earth, that continents move, climates change, and life adapts in ways we can barely imagine. And while much of Antarctica remains unexplored, one truth is certain. No other place on the planet connects the past, present, and future so perfectly. The ice may be silent, but it tells the greatest story ever written, the story of our world. Beneath this ice lies the memory of Earth, frozen, untouched, eternal. Antarctica is not a wasteland. It is the heart of the planet's history, a forbidden land that guards the truth of where we came from and where we're going.